Welcome back. Welcome back again. If your friends are not with you, notify them to come and sit down. You've got somebody so that we go through form one thing, something you've forgotten. And I hope this is bringing a lot of memories to mind. Now let's go on with our function of organelles. The chloroplast. Okay, before that, the centriole. I also highlighted the centriole. The centrioles. Watch the centrioles here on the screen. I underline again with a blue one. Tiny, tiny structures located near the nuclear membrane. I've mentioned it here, it's in animal cell. So as you read, be careful, we identify those things that are for animals and those that are for plants. Its job is to make spindle fibers during cell division. Another topic when we get there, you would love it. Now the last two are organelles. One is an organelle, one is just a structure. The chloroplast is an organelle found only in plant cell. What the description well, so that when you get to the exams, one is large, it's disc shape. It's large and it's disc shape. So that it looks like an oval structure. So if they don't have this, let's put oval here. So that in the exams, you'll be able to identify how it looks like. Its job from JHS to now, you know that it contains what? A green pigment. So the green plants that you have all contain a green pigment. And that pigment is called the chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is found inside the chloroplast and its job is to trap sunlight for absorption. The other one, which is also unique to plant cell, I didn't call it organelle. I said that it's what? A structure. Is that when you are moving from outside to the inside, as we saw on the pictures, it's a structure around the membrane. So it's like before the membrane, there's this structure. In different organisms, the contents are different. In plants, it's cellulose. In fungi, it's chitin. And in bacteria, it's plant and protein. Fats and protein. We have a specific term for it in the elective subject. The function of the cell wall is to protect the cell from any form of injury or whatever that will affect it from the outside. But from the inside, it will prevent the cell from bursting during turgidity. It also gives a specific shape to plant cells. Then in addition, it allows easy passage of substances. So we say it's easily permeable to gases, water, and other substances. Now on your screen is a distribution of the organelle in cells. The one on your left, organelles or structures found in animal and plant cell. Then when you go into plant and animal cell, these things are there. But if you come to animal cell alone, what is common with them are lysosome and centrioles. And on the vacuole, I've written small and temporal. But in plant cell, you see that they are large, centrally placed, and permanent. Then in plant cell, you have chloroplast and also cell wall. So even before I ask you the question that would result in this, you already have about 3 differences. Then also similarities. That's why I put this table there. So in the exams, when you get stuck, remember this. All the organelles that are same in them, you can write them as similarities. Then these two can be written as differences. So I give you some 2 minutes or a minute to look on your screen, all that we discussed as different. So, cellulose, absent of cellulose, chloroplast absent. Take your time and look at it. We've described it. You looked at the pictures. We've also taken time to describe them. We've done the distribution, and now you're on the differences between plant and animal cell. The next slide is similarities between plant and animal cell. Presence of cytoplasm, as I mentioned, all the things that we mentioned there, except the last point you can't see taking place on the drawing. So they carry out mitosis in somatic cells and meiosis in reproductive cells. Both plant and animal cells undertake these activities. So this actually ends the first section of our topic today. The second section, which looks at cellular organization. The cell you just studied will be arranged in different forms in different organisms in different ways. So we will use human beings and plants as our organisms to study. So the cell we just described can be grouped together to form tissue, tissue to form organ, organ to form system. And our job will be to take them one after the other and describe it in an organized form. So let's look at some terminologies too that will come across in WASI. Unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms, prokaryotic, eukaryotic, and specialized cells. We use the term unicellular, that whatever we describe as a cell, an organism who carries all his life activity just in one cell is referred to as unicellular. Simply we say it's a single-celled organism. That's the word, single-celled. So single cell means that one cell carries all the life processes in it. Compared to you, the human being, who has millions of cells. You have cells for excretion, cells for reproduction, cells for movement. That means many different types of cells in one organism. Helping that organism to function as a full organism is what we call multicellular. So it contains many different types of cells. Then some cells are prokaryotic, others are eukaryotic. The picture we showed you when we began is an eukaryotic cell because the nucleus that we saw had a cover on it. If the nucleus did not have a cover, then we say prokaryotic. And we term prokaryotic as non-membrane whilst eukaryotic are when you take the fowl egg, it's the one that we eat. When you crack, it's just an egg. But when the hen sits on it and incubates it for 21 days, it turns out to form what? A full young chicken. What happens there? the cells will divide in millions, from hundreds to thousands to millions, and will arrange itself nicely. Then we have different types shaping up, so that those for the eye will specialize for eye, those for leg for movement will specialize for movement, those for digestive things will specialize for digestive things. So they started as the same. So when the cells are the same, undifferentiated, most will be termed as the stem cell. Then when the stem cells divide and give rise to new ones, you see that the new ones will change shape slightly. And once they change shape, what A can do, B can't do. So what A can do means that it's specialized for that function, and B is also specialized for its own function. So we describe specialized cell as a cell structurally adapted to perform a specific function. The word is structure, that means there's a different structure for it. Let's take a look at this picture and look at some specialized cells in plants and in animals. Give you some 10 seconds. Look at the pictures on your board. Guard cell, red blood cell. On your screen is the shape. So some of the specialized cells, their location and their function. Red blood cell is to transport oxygen. White blood cell is to destroy bacteria that enter us. The sperm cell you saw, this sperm cell you saw on the screen, is for carrying information from parents during fertilization. So there are a lot on your screen. In plants, you have root tip or meristematic stems which divide to give new ones. We have the epidermal cell that on the outside of the plant, and you have the palisade mesophyll cells. Now, when these cells are grouped together to form one new structure, that means these cells, one type of, if you take your muscle cell, another muscle cell, let's say 5 to 10 of them all put together at one place, they have the same size and the same shape. We call this new arrangement no more a cell, we now call it a tissue. So we say a tissue is a group of cells which are similar in shape and size and perform the same function. On your screen are some of your tissues. In plants, we have photosynthetic tissue, making food, epidermal tissue, strengthening tissue, and vascular tissue. In humans, we have blood tissue. Yes, your blood is a tissue. Your bone, your skeletal tissues. Your nerves that used to conduct things is also a tissue. Then your muscle tissue. Now, let's explain what an organ is, where there's a misconception. So if you take your stomach, there are a lot of muscles there. There are a lot of connective tissues there. More than one tissue coming together. Everybody has a job to do, but they are so close together and their activities are connected in such a way that all what they do help us see that there's one function being undertaken. So for stomach, the whole function there is digestion. If you take your heart, you have the muscles, you have the blood, you have connective tissue, you have epithelial tissues. All of them help us pump the blood, which contains oxygen and food. That structure, that whole one structure, that has all the many tissues in it, is what we term as organ. And on your screen, we have a lot here. Heart, kidney, stomach, hand, your liver. Then in plants, you have roots, stems, and leaves. When all these your organs are put together, which have are connected. So your mouth, your stomach, your intestines, your large intestines, your rectum, all together help us eat and digest food. So we call it a digestive system. So we say a system consists of different groups of organs who work together as a unit to perform a specific function. On your screen, you have a lot. Then we'll come to transport in plant and animal, diffusion and osmosis. I'll make it very simple for you. When you get, let's say you're in the house and there's only one chair, and all of you are scrambling for it, everybody wants to sit down, and you have 5 of them. What you all do is that you're forced to sit on the chair. As kids, you fight and everybody say, it's my own, it's my own. So you just all sit in the chair, looking at who will get tired and get up. But immediately mommy brings another chair, all of you start moving from that chair, going to the other chairs. And that is actually the meaning of diffusion. We were crammed at one place. When we get space, we'll move gradually to different places. Same, when that movement is for water, then we are saying that is osmosis. But in osmosis, there has to be a barrier through which the water will pass. So the water moves from a place that is plenty to a place that is less. So let's quickly take the definitions of diffusion. It is the movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until the molecules are evenly spread out. Factors: when you put sugar in water, you stir it so that it moves faster. Same, you put on any hot thing or you put on fire, it will let it increase. If particles are small, they move faster. So you could say molecular side. If they are big, they move slower. Then state of the molecule. Gases are tiny and move faster than liquid, and liquid moves faster than solid. Then the nature of your cell membrane is also a factor. Diffusion in non-living things include opening a perfume, and everybody can smell it. When you put a blue dye, yes, the boarding school boys, you see them with blue, put them in the water, use their hand. What you are doing is diffusion. What the exams want you to know is examples in living organisms. When we breathe in, the oxygen that we take in will diffuse across our lungs. Same, our carbon dioxide will diffuse from our blood into our lungs and out. Then when we eat, our food, the thing we've digested, glucose and amino acid, move across our intestines into our blood. In plants, they absorb mineral salts from the ground into the root hairs, then it is transported through the vessels. And osmosis, which I describe as the movement of water molecules across a semi-permeable membrane from a dilute solution. Yes, again. Osmosis is the passage of water or solvent across a partial or semi-permeable membrane from a dilute solution or a less concentrated solution. And this is where the trick is. Either I use the word less concentrated, dilute solution, or, as we usually do it, water from a region of higher concentration of water to a region of lower concentration of water, which is common in the textbooks. But to make it easy, you can say from dilute solution to a more concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane until equilibrium is established. Now, there are some terms you should know: hypotonic, hypertonic, and isotonic. When two solutions are compared, the one that is lower is termed the hypotonic solution. The one that is higher is termed hypertonic solution. If the solutions are the same, we say they are isotonic. And note this, your screen, I'm going to do something. water always moves from hypotonic to hypertonic. This is one of our famous demonstrations in class where we take yam and use it to demonstrate osmosis. Look at the picture on your left, living yam with sugar in it, in a yam that is put in a trough full of water. Then down it, you see that after some 30 to 1 hour, what happens? Or after living over a day, you see that the water level would go up. In the other one that we didn't put salt or anything in it, or sugar, nothing happened. Because one place was not concentrated for us to move into it. If it's a boiled yam, then it means that the yam is no more living. So osmosis usually takes place in only living things. Then in plants, two situations will occur. If you put in a solution that is less concentrated, that is hypotonic, the end is that the cell will swell, more water will enter the cell will swell and become turgid. If it's placed in a solution that is highly concentrated, termed hypertonic, the cell rather will lose water to the solution around, and the membrane will start pulling apart from the cell wall, and we term this as plasmolysis. First, it will become flaccid, then later it will become plasmolyzed. So on your screen is a definition of what a plasmolysis is, or describing what a plasmolysis is. That means plasmolysis only takes place in plant cell. But in animal cell, let's look at what happened. If you put it in a hypotonic solution, and you put this in hypertonic. In hypotonic, it will swell, become bigger and burst. Because in the plant cell, there was a wall around it. In the animal cell, there's no wall, so there's nothing to protect it, to burst. But when you put in the hypertonic, where water will move from the red blood cell into the concentrated solution, it will start reducing in size and shrink. So now that you know this, we'll take some two examples of occurrence of osmosis in living things in plant and animal. In plant, they take water from the ground or the soil by means of osmosis. In human beings, we reabsorb water from our nephron. What helps us make urine? We don't urinate everything that our body actually excretes, but as we are about to urinate, the body will decide and take some back. So every time the body takes some back, and it takes it by means of osmosis. Then in our rectum too, before things become fecal, they are like the diarrhea stage when you get diarrhea. But the body takes all the water away and leave the semi-solid material to come out. So on your screen are other examples. Then we move on to difference between osmosis and diffusion. We say diffusion does not require permeable membrane. Osmosis requires semi-permeable membrane. Diffusion can occur in gases or liquid. Osmosis only involves the movement of water. Diffusion can occur both in living and non-living things. As I said, osmosis only occurs in living things. Then, this being our last slide, after this, we'll open our phone so that you can call in. You ask a question or pose a question, and we'll see those who have gone through with me. If you can use it to answer some of our questions that we have for you today. In similarity, both are involved in the movement of particles or movement of molecules or ions or material. Movement also moves from a higher region always to a lower region, whether it's diffusion or osmosis. And both do not require energy. And we say it's passive movement. Now we will move on to the question zone. mostly you are fan of calling section A, section B, and the practical, so we use it like that. Formerly, we used to call the school candidate paper May, June, and the NOVDEC private candidate is now called the private candidate. So when you look at the question, you modify it as such. So as we are about to go on to the questions, revise your notes, then you can call in, answer the questions that we are going to put on the board. Where you get it wrong, we would help correct you. Now, there was one question in 1995, the school candidate question, question 1, based on your screen. Which of the following structures do all cells possess? Or A, is it nucleus? B, is it centrioles? C, is it cell wall? D, is it a large vacuole? If you know, can call in and help us answer this. Ebenezer.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to our class.
Thank you, sir.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Takrady.
Wow. Which school specifically?
Please, I'm from GSTS.
Wow. On your screen, you have the question from 1995, a real past question. So let's see whether you can answer it. Which of the following structures do all cells possess? A, is it nucleus? B, centrioles? C, cell wall? D, large vacuole?
Sir, please, A, nucleus.
Yes, my guy, you have it.
Okay.
I wish I could clap for you. But before you go on, where will you place centrioles?
Under animal cells.
What about cell wall?
Under plant cell.
And what about, look at the last one. I use the word large vacuole.
Oh, okay, then it will be plant cell.
What if I use the small vacuole? What would I have said?
That will be animal cell.
Clap for yourself. You can use it for differences. When they ask you, clap for yourself.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Now on your screen is the next question. Which of the following structures control the passage of substance in and out of a cell? 1995, question 4. Yes. Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah, welcome to our class. I hope you followed.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tamale.
Wow. Which school?
Tamale Senior High School.
Wow. Thanks for calling in. Now on your screen is your question. Which of the following structures control the passage of substances in and out of a cell? Nuclear membrane, plasma membrane, cell wall, endoplasmic reticulum.
Sir, it's nuclear membrane.
Okay. Look at it again. I said, let's do it this way. Let me underline the trick of it, of a cell. You can try again, looking at what's on the board.
Sorry, sir, plasma membrane.
Correct. Now listen, if they don't use plasma membrane, what would they have used? What can they use in the exams?
Cell membrane.
Correct. So clap for yourself for answering the question. So don't be afraid in the exams. Always underline what they ask and you'll be able to get the answer.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now on your screen, it's another question. From 2010, private candidate, what we call the NOVDEC, question 1. Chromosomes of a living cells are located in A, cytoplasm, B, genes, C, nucleus, and D, ribosomes. My dear Justina. Hello, Justina. Hello, Justina.
Cytoplasm.
Cytoplasm.
Yeah.
Okay, can you take your time and look on the screen again? And if you want me to help, so I will go back and take the picture. Oh, we've lost Justina. Okay. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Who is calling us this?
Godfred.
Godfred. Calling from?
Bolgatanga.
Wow. Which school?
Notre Dame.
Wow, Notre Dame. Okay. My guy, as we say in our class, you know how the class is. My guy, on your screen is the question. What do you think is the answer?
I think it's C, the nucleus.
C, the
nucleus.
Nucleus. Clap for us. If what, before you go, if it's ribosome, what do you think happens at the ribosome? What you said is correct. It's nucleus. You get it 100%. But what do you think happens at the ribosome?
The function of the ribosome.
Yeah.
So it's for protein synthesis.
Clap for yourself, my guy. My guy, you do all. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now on your screen is another tricky question that I've modified it. If you see modified, that means I've twisted it. 1996, they brought this table. So I want you, the student watching me, try and let's find the names of the organelles which are represented by the letters E, F, G, and H. Structure: E is connected with oxidation of food in the cell. F, site for protein synthesis. G, provides support. H, site for synthesis of carbohydrates. This came in 1996. So imagine it's your time. Please call in. I gave you slightly lower ones. I've now up the tempo a little bit. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Your name, please.
Raul.
Raul. Okay. Welcome to our class. On your screen, it's a modified question. We want the names of the organelles for E, F, G, and H.
Yes.
The one that you can, try your best and just give it to me. The ones you can, I'll help you.
Protein synthesis.
Okay. What is it? Protein synthesis is. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Usman.
Sir.
Welcome to the class. Calling from
Salma.
Tema. Okay.
Salma. Western region, Adamberry.
Western region. Wow. Never heard it before. Yeah, which school, please? Sectech. Okay. Salma, try your best and all the four. Which of them you can? Tell me. Those you can't, I'll help you.
The F. Start for protein synthesis.
Yes, please.
Is ribosome.
Ribosome. Okay, that's correct.
And site for synthesis of carbohydrates.
Okay. What will you say it is?
Let me see for the other provide support.
Yes.
And the other provide support is
the gene. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the gene. Is the epidermal cell.
The
epidermal cell.
Okay, you've done your best, but this is more of just a cell. They are organelles.
Organelles. Okay.
Okay. Hello. Hello. Oh, we missed you. Wow. I want you all to help so that we fill up this space here. Okay. 1996. This question was question 21. We've modified it. The table below shows the function of 4 cell organelles. So remember, the thing is an organelle, supposed to be found in a cell. E, F, G, and H. Use it to answer questions 21 to 22. So your job, then I modified it. E is what organelle, F is what, and somebody has helped us get the ribosome. G and H. Chum. Chum. Hello, Chum. Samuel. Hello, Samuel. Hello, Samuel. Hello, Samuel. Okay. We will help you find these answers. Or we'll hold on, go to another one and come back so that those who want us to answer this, you will come back to it. You can see it's a little bit tough. So go revise, come back again. Let's look at 2001 on cell. Now there is what came in the WASI. And they were supposed to use to answer question 38 to 40. So on your screen, I just put the 2 below it so that you try just to adjust to the space there. Study the diagram below. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, yes. May I know your name?
Yeah, please. My name is Abdul Rashid.
Abdul Rashid. Calling from?
Yes. I'm calling from
Wow.
Upper West region.
Upper West. And your school?
Why Islamic SHS?
Oh, okay, Islamic SHS. On which one do you want to answer? This particular one or the one I just showed?
This particular one.
Okay, it's tough. Okay, let's go. E will be what?
I actually know the G.
G, okay.
That's the cell wall.
The cell wall. My guy, you do all.
Yeah.
Cell wall. Well done. So we're still letting our mates to help us so that we answer the other 2.
And that's the H.
The H. Mm-hmm.
I think it's the smooth and the plastic reticulum.
The endoplasmic reticulum.
Yes.
Okay. I would say that go, if I try to say it, maybe you get the answer. Okay, you've tried. Go and check between Golgi body and endoplasmic reticulum.
Okay.
Then clarify it well. Okay, let's go so that I help you. Doris.
Sir,
Yes, Doris.
please, I'm answering the E.
Okay.
It's mitochondrium.
Wow, Doris, well done. Clap for yourself. Mitochondria. Okay. So the H, I want my student to help you. Let's go back. So with endoplasmic and Golgi. So my students, watch the last. So this is where the trick was. Okay. Oh. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name, please.
I'm Ponta Mariano.
Mariano. Okay. Calling from?
La Paz.
La Paz. Okay. Preschool, do you attend?
Konongo Domestic Senior High School.
Congrats. Please, the age. Can you help us with it?
Size for synthesis of carbohydrates.
Yes.
Golgi body.
My guy, you do all. Clap for yourself.
Golgi body.
Golgi body, that's correct. Golgi body. But can you help us answer the next one? Oh, okay. So those watching in the house, study the diagram below carefully and use it to answer question 38 to 40. I wish we could give the entire labels around it to be easy for us to answer 38 to 39. So, okay. 38. Hello? Okay. The organelle labeled II is the chloroplast, mitochondrion, nucleus, vacuole. 39. The function of the organelle labeled vein is to... Okay, Ebenezer.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Your school, please.
Please, GSTS.
And Kent, where are you calling from?
Takrade.
Okay. Help us with these two questions.
Okay.
The organelle labeled II. Look at where it is, look at the size, and that's the trick.
It is a vacuum. D.
Correct. That's the answer. It's a vacuole.
Okay.
Then the other one, 39, can you try for us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm listening, Ebenezer.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So the organelle is used for it releases energy.
It releases energy. Correct.
Mitochondrion.
Correct. You got it. So those in the house, you can label everything around it. Now let's go to other questions. Let's look at our famous teaser that came on your screen this evening. Can we find answers for A, B, C, D, E, and F? Hello. Okay. Now we are comparing the two cells. This can happen or can be asked in the practical. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Just call in and let's answer this together. Aliu.
Sir.
Yes. Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Salma.
Hey, Salma. Okay. Which school, please? Okay. Which school, please?
Yes.
Okay. Can you help us? Do your best. The ones that you can answer. A, B, C, D.
A is cell membrane.
A is what?
Cell membrane.
Cell membrane. Yes. The next.
The cell membrane.
That's correct.
And the B is the cell wall.
Cell wall. Correct.
And the O is the vacuole.
Vacuole. That's supposed to be D. Next,
yeah.
Is there any you can help?
The D, vacuole.
Yes.
And E is the nucleus.
The E.
Yes.
Oh, look at it well again. The position.
I can't see the letter. Is it E?
E. After D, we have E. Then we have F, G, and H.
E is the
Is the nucleus. That's correct.
Is the nucleus, yeah.
Nucleus.
Nucleus.
Okay. Any other you can help?
And H.
H. I'm listening to you.
That of the S.
F. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the F is the chloroplast.
Chloroplast. Oh, you do. Oh, let me bring it down here.
And I.
I. Okay.
The I is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum.
I'll take it like that. Endoplasmic reticulum.
Yeah. And J.
Yeah.
Is the J is the body.
My guy, I clap for you. You do. Oh. Okay. Okay. Hello, my dear.
Hello, good evening.
Evening. Your name, please.
I'm Mufida.
Please, your name again.
Mufida too.
Mufida too. Please, calling from?
Pristia.
Pristia. Free school.
Pristia Senior Technical School.
Okay. Your colleague has helped us identify some. Can you help with the rest?
I want to ask a question because I didn't catch up the first
Okay.
the beginning of the show.
Okay.
So I want to ask, please, when do you repeat the revision show?
Where do we receive the revision?
When do you repeat the revision show?
In the morning. They repeat it every weekday in the morning.
Every weekday too, I go to school. So do you repeat it?
Okay. Then, if you can catch up in the morning, we have Facebook and YouTube where you can get these live shows.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, my students, let's go to some section B questions, 1 or 2, and let's study how it's asked in WASI. If you can call in, fine. If you can't, I'm just going to give you the trick. Now you are going to draw and label a typical plant cell as seen through the microscope. That's what they said. Then 3 functions of a labeled organelle. Now the chief examiner said something about how we answer questions. He said that sometimes most of you draw in pen. Something we should not do. Drawing in pen. Don't draw in pen. Make sure your labels are correct, your spellings are correct, and your grammar should be correct too. So this is what they asked. Okay. The previous question. We are on this question. Hello. Okay. So the section B type of questions where you write, they can bring you a drawing that you draw, label, and after that they say label, give functions of 3 labeled organelles. So you take mitochondria, we just did it, we took. So the drawing that we just labeled, if you can draw it, don't be scared about how beautiful it is. It should just look like that. Another question they brought is a tissue. Hello. Okay. So we saw C, cytoplasm. Then the I is Golgi body. So these are the things that we couldn't answer. Okay. So, our section B type of questions, some will come like this. Let's look at another one here. What is a living cell? State 3 similarities and 3 differences between a plant and an animal cell. Draw and label a typical plant cell or animal cells seen through a microscope. What is a specialized cell? What we defined earlier. Give 3 examples of specialized cells, each in animal and plant. In each case, state one function of the cell. Then list in correct order the basic level of organization in multicellular organism. Last question. Explain the term tissue as applied to living organism. List 2 types of tissue, each found in a green plant and animals. State their function. Then what do you understand by the following? Diffusion, osmosis, and plasmolysis. These are session B I expect you to answer. The next time we meet, you may be able to can call in and give us some of the answers you got. Then we will correct your mistakes and make it easy for you to pass your WASI. We've done a lot today. As I said, cell is the fundamental concept in biology, and you'll be taught this as early part in your Form 1 class, and majority of you have forgotten. Today, we've tried to go back. Some also occur in practical. The next time, we will also look at practical-based questions. If you have any problem, don't hesitate to call in, bring your questions through all our links, and we will help you. So, just go through some of the things we've seen today. So, my advice is just revise well, take the key concepts, check your spellings, and take your time in the exam. So always underline what they ask you. You saw some of you answered it without looking at what actually they asked, and you guessed, and some of you got it wrong or right. The next time, take your time and underline what they are asking you. So we'll meet again on our class on interscience the next time. But for today, I have been your facilitator, Osei Kwame Amuaten, taking you through cell and cellular organization in plant and animals. Hope to meet you another time. Bye-bye.